We often hear talk of peaceful co-creativity as if it were a dream that we are in the process of trying to achieve, rather than an action we are taking to help to improve upon the systems like government and finance that currently define our reality. Statements like peace can be achieved or will be achieved if we take this action or that action are tossed around frequently, and it is becoming disheartening to me to bear witness to what was once a beautiful vision becoming an impotent idea that was never truly realized. Why is everything we do about peace tomorrow? Where did we come up with this idea that peace is not something we can accomplish right here, right now, today? Where did the idea that it is a process come from, and how in heaven's name did we get it into our heads that sacrifices would have to be made in order for us to achieve this? Now I realize that it may sound harsh, but in truth it is merely an acceptance of the need for a next step, a realization that sitting around thinking about how to improve upon our way of life is only the beginning, and unless we wish to be stuck forever in our infancy and never develop beyond our current understanding, there has to be some kind of plan for how to integrate our understanding of a need for cooperation into our everyday lives. I have to ask, why, oh why, is it so bloody hard to simply refuse to bear arms against your fellow man? How is it we could have ever come so far so fast and yet be so lost to our own power? Is the man who signs your paycheck really the one in charge, or is it the united force of workers who creates the products that the man sells to get the money to pay you with? Is it such a far stretch to imagine a world where reporters refuse to lie or to only cover stories that include half-truths? Is it so far-fetched to imagine a world where people step into the true power of their being and work out for themselves systems that will provide our world with environmentally sustainable power? Have humans really convinced themselves that they are incapable of such things? Goodness gracious, how ridiculous does it have to get before the people of this world wake up and take action? We wait for our governments to alter their power structure, and we sit around watching what will happen next as we vote in the latest and greatest hopeful generation-saving political candidate, and then we call it democracy. Because why? It sounds good? What we are not doing on nearly a large enough scale is taking the responsibility into our own hands. We are not seeking out these radical, outside-the-box thinkers who have built up communities that are self-sustaining because we have been lulled into thinking that it is simply not possible to do this on a grand scale. It occurs to me that rather than wasting our time on pointing out the obvious problems that we all know are there, we direct our energy into something that will actually work to help build a more harmonic society. Did you know that there are communities in both Canada and the US who've created their own currency for local trade? Did you know that there are power companies in both Canada and the US that are providing wind and solar energy to those who wish it? Did you know that there are organizations that are solely dedicated to providing communities built on the idea of trade for services and skills? Did you know that all around the world there are individuals who are coming up with unique and, dare I say, ingenious ways to turn what we consider to be everyday trash into building materials and natural lighting systems? And then, of course, there are those creative people out there who've taken the time and energy to devote their film-making skills to documenting and sharing these ideas with others, in the hopes that this creativity will inspire further action. The key word here is action. All these incredibly gifted and talented people who've taken it upon themselves to use their individual skills and gifts to benefit themselves and others, and yet we still operate under the misconception that we, the people, must rely upon those in power to provide us with our education, our medication, and our basic living essentials like food and shelter. The belief that somebody is going to come along with the right answer soon and save us from ourselves is nothing more than a fool's pursuit, and no longer has a place in our world. If we truly wish to build upon the idea that humanity can live a peaceful, co-creative, self-sustaining existence. I personally do not believe that the problem lies in that there are not enough people out there doing this kind of work. In fact, there are thousands of creative souls around the world who have dedicated their lives to inventing and implementing tools and methods to usher us into a new age of peace and harmony with nature. The problem is, quite frankly, that there are still too many people complaining about what is not working, and not enough people putting their time and energy into seeking out that which does work, and doing whatever is necessary to assist in the expansion of these projects. If we would all just keep in mind the basic rule of thumb that whatever you give your energy to continues to grow and expand, then perhaps we would be a bit more cautious in what we are placing our focus upon. Now, more than ever, it is a really good time to re-examine that extremely old and overused phrase, "What you see is what you get." Think about it, then take some time to think about what it is you have been thinking about.